This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, we're on our second day of inventories, and we reviewing from last week. We said that with service, when revenue is earned, we simply debited cash, accounts receivable, and credited sales. But when we have a merchandising company which sells inventories, there are three sets of journal entries involved. Journal entry 1 here, Roman numeral 1, where we buy the inventory. Journal entry Roman numeral 2, where we sell the inventory. Then Roman numeral 3, where we record the cost of the item being sold so we can determine the gross profit. So instead of the one journal entry, we now have three journal entries. We have to buy the inventory, and then we have to sell it. Our income statement has changed. Sales less returns gives us net sales. Less cost of goods sold gives us gross profit. So we make this separation because we want to know whether or not we sold the items above cost. And then we subtract the operating expenses to get the net income. So not a major change that we see. Cost of goods sold is an expense item that is included in closing entries. And we did a simple example where we were selling one shoe. We were selling shoes at a uniform cost. And we said that if we, looking at this scenario on the end, if we bought 10 pairs of shoes and sold 8, when we buy the shoes, we buy 10 at 20 for 200. Debit inventory 200, credit accounts payable. And we always are crediting accounts payable on the purchase of inventory. When we sold 8 at 50, we debit cash and credit sales for 400. But then we also debit cost of goods sold, 8 times 20, 160, and credited inventory. So at this point, on the 8 that we sold, sales 400, cost 160, there's a gross profit 240, and we still have an inventory 2 items at 20. Are there any questions on this example of a uniform cost, uniform selling price? We bought 10, we sold 8. On the 8 that we sold, we made a gross profit of 240, and we had 2 left in inventory at 20. Are there any questions?
Sir, no, sir.
Okay. Okay. If we're simply buying inventories at one time at the same price, it's pretty easy to work with that and when we have expensive items. But when we're buying a lot of items, like shoes, we are continually buying and selling. And so there are 3 inventory methods, and we're simply going to talk about FIFO today, and you'll have a quiz on that on next class period. For our inventory valuation methods, FIFO basically says it's first in, first out. The first items we buy are the first ones we sell. LIFO will be the last ones. Weighted average will be an average. So we'll cover LIFO after the quiz on Thursday, and we'll cover weighted average on Monday. So as I indicated, when you have identical items and they're coming in at different costs and you're not selling them all, then you got to make an assumption. And we're just working with FIFO today and on the quiz for next time. If you're selling expensive things like jewelry, cars, you're going to specifically identify what's sold. Okay, so we're not talking about high price items, but computers, shoes, televisions, printers, where they bought in mass and sold, but they're bought at different price. Let's look at this LIFO example. And in the LIFO example, the visual here, you see that when items come in, they're loaded and pushed forward. So the first ones bought are the first ones unloaded because we're loading back here, then we're unloading here. So all of these first ones are unloaded before the old ones. So that's how that really works. And if you look at warehouse storage areas, this is a typical setup. Trucks come in loading at the rear, and everything is pushed forward. So the oldest stuff is sold first, and companies like to do that. So let's look at a simple example. We purchased 100 pairs of shoes on account at $15 each. Then we purchased 200 pairs of shoes on account at $20 each. So you see we have two purchase prices, 15 and 20, and we sold 150 pairs of shoes at 40 each. And so what you'll be required to do on Thursday, complete an inventory chart, make the journal entries, and then do the top part of the income statement. So let's talk about an inventory chart. If you got a whole bunch of shoes, you're going to have them different types, different sizes. And so you're going to have a chart like this on each pair of shoes you're selling, each size. You'll have your beginning inventory, which will be here. When you purchase the shoes, you're going to put them here. This is journal entry 1. Okay, so let me. Whatever shoes are purchased, they're placed here in journal entry 1, then they're moved across. When shoes are sold, they go in the middle part of the chart, and we make that calculation. That's too big. Let me just see. 18. But what I'm trying to emphasize are the journal entries. Journal entry 1 on purchase, journal entry 3 on the cost that was sold. In our inventory chart, we never place the selling price on journal entry 2. I'm going to say it again. In this inventory chart, we never place journal entry 2 our selling prices. And I'm going to say it for the third time. Whenever we make a sale, whenever we buy inventory, it comes in the inventory chart, so we track it. Journal entry 1. When we sell inventory, it goes into column 2, and it goes into journal entry 3, cost of goods sold, but nowhere is that sales journal entry here. So let's look at our example. We purchased 100 pairs of shoes on account at $15 each. So we purchased 100 pairs of shoes. They cost $15 each. So what's the total cost of these shoes?
$150.
1,500.
Oh yeah, 1,500.
Now, every time we make this journal entry on the purchase, we're going to copy it and put it over here in our balance column. So when we buy the inventories, we record the purchase, then it always moves to the balance column. Then we bought 200 pairs of shoes. They cost $20 each. And so what's our total cost here?
4,000.
That's going to be 4,000. I know everybody in here had shoes. A lot of people got shoes on, may even have house shoes on, so they ought to understand the product. We're going to copy it, and we're going to paste it right here. So every time we buy it, we put it in the ending balance. So let's go ahead and make those journal entries. When we bought it, on that first one, we're going to have an inventory for 1,500. We're going to credit accounts payable for 1,500. Because inventory has got to be checked and we aren't in the paying delivery drivers, it's most the company who sells it, most times is going to sell it on account. Amazon doesn't have its drivers collecting money. And then you pay them, Amazon, you'll pay every but businesses, they operate this way. Then we had another transaction just like that one, where we debited inventory for 4,000 and credited accounts payable for 4,000. And you see these are what type entries?
Type 12.
The type 12. Then it says that we sold 150 pairs of shoes at 40. We sold 150 pairs of shoes. Okay. So we got them moving in this column, 150 pairs of shoes. And first in, first out, we're going to bring these in first. Okay, we'll put those in here. So all of those are gone. Okay. But we said we sold in total what? 150. And so we need what? 50 more pairs of shoes. Their price is going to be what?
20.
Their price is going to
This
be.
is 40. Oh, my bad. I wasn't ready.
You see, already. What did I say? 3 times.
I'm sorry. I was thinking.
Now, that's why I said 3 times. So now I can jump on you when you miss it. Just jump. But there's a tendency that we want to do that. But remember, we're working on journal entry 3 now. So 20 times 50 is what? I don't know why $2 sounds are jumping in here every time. What's 20 times 50? What's 5 times 2?
Items 2 is 10,000.
So we're going to add these two numbers together and we get what? $2,500. So let's make our journal entries on the sale. So we did our purchase journal entries. So let's make our sales journal entry. We sold 150 pair of shoes at $40 each. So how much money did we get? What is 50 times 40? 6,000?
15 times 40?
Yeah. Is that 6,000?
Yes, it's 6,000.
That's journal entry 2. Has nothing to do with the chart. Now we got to make journal entry 3 where we debit cost of goods sold and credit inventory. We've got to make journal that the type 3 of inventories. And that's where we come in here and we see, okay, we go to this middle column. So that's the purpose of the middle column to give us the amount that goes in that journal entry. That's going to be 2,500. Now, what do we have left in inventory at this stage? You got your inventory card.
Don't we have like 100? No. Don't we have like 150 left?
Yep.
Like shoes? Yeah.
Got 150 left because all of these are gone.
But those are 20, so 150 times 20?
Mm-hmm. That 3,000.
Yes.
And now, if this was our only transaction and we did an income statement, how would that look?
Wait a minute. 4,000, 6,000,
Which was to wait for? And
15. I'm sorry. I'm trying to take notes. So sorry.
I sent you all the package, didn't I? Did I not put this package in
Yeah,
black?
but I'm taking notes. It helps me. It helps me when I take notes. I'm sorry. I'm muting myself.
What were you all supposed to do with this package?
Look it over.
You were supposed to make a hard copy.
Yes.
You were supposed. So I would suggest you all make your hard copies. Unless y'all got this down, I'll see in a second. So our sales, we simply go up here to our sales number. It's going to be what? 6,000. So we're doing the same thing we did last week. Cost of goods sold was what? 2,500. So our gross profit on the sale of those 150 shoes was what? Is that 3,500?
Yes.
Can everybody do that? Can everybody operate a little shoe store and sell some shoes and determine how much money they make? Can everybody do that?
I think so, yeah.
Think so?
Yes, sir.
Reynoso, can you handle it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Darian, can you handle it?
I could do my best.
Uh-oh, getting our best now. But, you know, the Rockets be doing their best every night.
They
I'll do
lost
better
right
than
now.
them.
Okay.
Professor Boyd, for what we're doing on Thursday, is that the only thing that we're doing, or are we doing like other things?
We're going to have a quiz on FIFO at the beginning of the period. And after we have that quiz, we're going to go on to LIFO. Why'd you ask that?
I just wanted to make sure about, I was just curious about the quiz on what all we're doing, like going to be doing on the quiz. That's all. Is it just going to be what you just taught it right there, or is it also going to be like cash flow and etc.?
Have I quizzed you all on cash flow yet?
No comment.
No comment. Well, we will probably just stick to inventory, okay?
Sounds great.
Hey, Prof, can we work some more of these? Like what we gonna be doing Thursday?
Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all work some more. You don't want me to work it all, do you?
I mean, no.
Thank you. Okay, so let me see if I can find one for you all. Because, you know, we want to make sure that more than I can work them right.
Yes, absolutely.
Good, good, good. Okay. So let's see if we can work this one. And all you gotta be concerned about are these journal entries. So how many journal entries is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 journal entries. Do you all think y'all can handle 5 journal entries? Just the bold ones.
You're not sharing your screen. I don't think we see what you see.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Okay, so all I want you all to do is to work these 5 journal entries. Okay. So take out some paper, including inventory flow chart, make the journal entries. Post them to the ledger, or not, we're not, well, we'll get to that, but make the journal entries. So just those 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So do 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'll give you all about 10 minutes. Then I want you to, do the flow chart, make the journal entries, and make that top part of the income statement. Tell me how much you made. That is what sales less cost of goods sold, except you got 2 sales this time, okay? And 2 cost of goods sold. So everybody see if they can work on that. So I just want to see where you all are.
Professor Boyd, can you show how the chart's supposed to look?
Okay, so
The
that does
Excel chart.
everybody have a picture of this? So you did have beginning inventory here.
Uh-huh.
So you got beginning inventory, then 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's go to the inventory chart. I'll find one and clear it out.
Wait, this is on core content?
Yes, you told me to put it there, and I did. You mean
Yeah,
WS
it's there. I saw it before class.
just before class? You didn't read it last night?
I was doing something else last night. I'm sorry.
I feel bad that you weren't studying my class. Okay, so we're working on this one. Let me see. Putting some rows below to make sure you got enough room. And then the journal entries stay the same. So whether it's cash or, it doesn't matter, cash or account receivable, that doesn't matter. But it's I think here we need to put some more rows in here.
Professor, can you go back to the picture of the problems?
Okay, that's where we're going to work it at. So here's the problem here. And in this problem, you have 25 units in beginning inventory, so you don't make a journal entry for them, they're already there. Then you have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 when using FIFO. And I just
So
want you to
just
start it,
just two, 3, 4, and 5 and 6, right?
right, plus the beginning inventory. So let's
Okay.
take this beginning inventory, copy it. Where's that problem at? I'm gonna move those if I get back up here. So you'd be putting that beginning inventory in. Let me just see if I can copy these. So the first thing you would have done was to put that beginning inventory in. So let's do 2, 3, and 4. When you get to 4 and get that done, we'll stop.
Excuse me, Professor Boyd. My sound had went out for a little while, so I know you want us to do these, but where are we doing this at? Are we just like doing it and we're gonna tell you, or you want us to like do it somewhere?
We're just gonna go over it,
Okay, just making sure.
just like we did before. I'm just having you all work on it first, then we're gonna go over it. Because it's not something you can learn by watching me. So the first thing we'll be doing will be putting in these 2 purchases. So 20 at 150 and 30 at 100. So what's 20 times 150?
They're both 3,000.
Okay. So let's see if we can copy them over. So at this point, we've got 25 at 20, 150 at 20, and 130. How many do we sell? 250, correct?
250.
So we know we got to sell 250 in here. So we're going to bring down the 25 at, put them in. So we still haven't gotten where we need to be, so we're going to bring these down. So how many have we sold now?
$350? No, sorry.
250. So right now we're at what?
175.
Yeah, so how many more do we need to sell? 75? Do we need more?
No, 75, yes.
Okay. Yeah, because we're at 175 and we sold 250. So those gonna come in here, what? 30. So we sold all of these. And we sold all of these. But we still got to get 75 more so that the total quantity sold is 250. So we need a total quantity of 250. So 30 times 75 is what? You got 2,250. Is that 2,250?
Yes.
So now when we add these up, how much did the 250 cost us? Is that 5,750 maybe?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And what's our balance at this point left now? We have what? 25 at what? 30, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So that's going to be how much?
750.
Okay. Okay, so now we have to go down and make our journal entries. We don't have to make a journal entry for the beginning balance. That's all, that was done in a prior period. So we do have a journal entry for those two purchases, which were 3,000 each. So we got 3,000 here, 3,000 here. And the purpose of the chart is to give us this journal entry. Okay, it's to give us so based on the chart, how much goes in this journal entry? We look, this number here. That's too big. So the 5750 goes in this journal entry. So the important thing is not buying the inventory, it's selling it. And so we said we sold how many? 250 at 50, correct? So we sold 250. Got 250 at 50, correct? So how much did we sell them for?
$50.
So what's 250 times 50?
$12,500.
I'll take your word for it. Any question by anyone on this? Any question?
Sir, no, sir. So far, so good.
Okay.
But can you just go back on to the top just to see the table? Yeah, that one.
Okay. So you see how our table looks?
Mm-hmm.
Professor Boyd, when you're done, could you like scoot all the way back down to the 601 and the inventory real quick? I want to make sure I wrote this down properly. Oh,
Here?
yeah. Yeah. I was just trying to make sure I wrote that properly. Thank you.
Welcome. Now we have another transaction where we purchase what? 200 pairs of shoes at 25. So what are we gonna do? The first thing we're gonna do is put the shoes here. 200 pairs of shoes. How much is that? 4,000? Who's that making all that noise?
Oh, I'm sorry.
So what's 2,025? Is that 5,000?
5,000, yeah.
And of course, anytime we purchase something, we purchase it to put it in our balance so we can sell it. Okay. Now we go up here. So let's record that entry. 5,000. So we got another purchase now for 5,000. And of course, that's a tight 12. So we come back up, and now there's a sale of 100 pairs of shoes for $50. So the first one was on, so it doesn't, so we're not as concerned at this point whether they're for cash on account. But it says we sold 100 pairs of shoes for cash at $50 each. So what are we going to do now? We're going to come in here and say, okay, we're going to sell these first. Copy. So now all of these are gone. But how many more do we need to sell? We got to sell 75 more so we can get to 100, correct? But these shoes are costing us what? $25, correct?
Right. Yes.
So what's 25 times 75?
$1,875.
Okay. So what's our total cost of this 100 that we sell? Is that $26.25?
Yep, that's correct.
That's correct. Yeah.
And how many pairs of shoes do we have left? Our shoe store has what, 125 pairs of shoes left?
125. Yes.
They cost $25. So that amounts to how much?
Isn't it 3,125?
I'll take your word for it. Okay, so we got to make these journal entries. So we sold 100 at 50 each. So let's just put our cost of goods sold in 2625. 625. Then we're going to put in this next sale. So I think the first one was on account. And this last one was a cash sale, but that's not, you know. So we're going to have what in this sale? We're going to have what? 100 at 50, correct? So what's 100 times 50? At 5,000?
Yes.
Okay, so now we're ready to say, okay, how much money did we make on these two sales? We had some in beginning inventory, we had 3 purchases, we have 125 units left. But on the 350 that we sold, how much money did we make? So we come, we get our sales, 12,500 and 5,000, so that becomes what? 17,500. Okay. Our cost of goods sold, we're gonna add those up. 5750 and 2625. How much is that? That's going to be at 70.
Professor Boyd, how'd you get 17,500 per
I add
sale?
sales numbers.
But that wouldn't that be oh, sorry. I thought that was a different number. My bad.
Okay, so 12,500 and 5,000. So we add the sales numbers. Now we want to add these two numbers and how much we're going to get.
20,125. Are you adding the sales number with the 2,625?
Want to know how much money we made. So we got to look at our costs.
Oh, those two numbers, you add those.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant the sales. Okay.
I got 8,375.
I got that too.
I don't know about this shoe store. How y'all gonna be doing selling these shoes? So our gross profit is how much?
Isn't it 9,125?
Looks like a good number to me. Okay. So this is what you have to do on Thursday. But of course, on Thursday, we'll work one before the quiz. We wouldn't want,
Good.
we don't want you to come in there and get frustrated and forget.
Professor Boyd, I was gonna ask about the second one, the cash and sales. That would be 215, right? The same as what you had before, or because
This
it's
is-
confusing me a little bit.
Wow. We're just saying in general what it's a 2R15.
Okay, sorry. I was just like, when I was looking at it, it was a little confusing how it was both, but I forgot it did have a 100 or so.
Yes, 2R15.
All right, thank you.
But that's good because I'm sure that clears it up for someone else. So does everybody see what we did?
So when you do it, you're just you're gonna go in order on how you start, how you read it, right?
Yeah. Going from the top, just like if you're working in a shoe store, you start with what you had in inventory, then you go on through.
Okay. Are we gonna do the rest of them?
No, because I'm not concerned about that yet. Pay rent, pay salaries, pay dividends. I'm assuming y'all can handle that. I'm worried about
Assuming? You're assuming?
Yep.
That's not nice.
I'm not going to have it on the quiz on Thursday.
That's all you had to say.
Oh, now, so you aren't worried about the knowledge now. So what type is one?
Obviously, that's a type 1.
What's 7?
9.
Investment is a type 1.
8?
9.
9?
No, 10.
That's all it is. So y'all old hats at that. Y'all can knock that out. That's the easiest part.
Yeah, you just have to say that it's not part of the quiz. Obviously, it's important information. I will say that it is. All of it's important. But when you say you're not going to go over because you're just assuming that we know exactly how to do it, I don't think that's really would be right. But if you're saying that that part is really not going to be on the quiz,
It's that you all know how to do something. I should never do that. I should never have confidence in you all.
confidence, you can have confidence, but it's great to briefly go over some things, like not fully explain it, but like briefly be like, oh, this, just say, hey, this, if this was on the quiz, it would go here and it will look something like just that's like brief, like without showing, if that makes sense. And then it just appeared on the quiz, and like people who actually seriously paid attention will be like, oh, okay, he did say something about that. But just assuming, just ignore that, and then just throwing it in the quiz and be like, he did this on purpose.
How could you say something like that, Chelsea? Boy.
Because you did it to me almost every single time.
I did what?
You don't go over some things for your A students and just be like, y'all got it. Like, you didn't even briefly go over some of those things. That's the only reason why I asked about the other ones.
You never gonna let me live that down, are you?
Of course I can. I will. One day, like once I pass your class with an A. Definitely. We can
Oh,
laugh about it after the fact.
Anyways, I think I got it, Professor.
good. All right, work this next one out then. I changed the facts.
For sure, for sure.
So we got 100 in beginning inventory at 20. Then we're buying 150 at 25, 100 at 30, and we're selling 250 at 100. Then we purchase another 200, and let's just sell 250 again at 100. So show me that you have it. Then you and Chelsea can read LIFO, and I'll test you all on FIFO and LIFO on Thursday. So I'm going to give you all about 227, about 10 minutes. And so in that first 10 minutes, what we want to do is to make sure we get through the beginning inventory and the first two purchases in that first sale. So let's make sure that we can do that. So the first thing you should have done was to calculate your beginning inventory. 120, which would be 2,000. And you should have put that in your beginning inventory. Then we had two purchases, 150 at 25 and 100 at 30. So we bought 150 and 100 at 25. So 150 at 25 is how much?
That's 37.50.
37.50.
And then the next one is gonna be 3,000.
3,000.
So now we're gonna put these in our balance. Now we're ready to make a sale. How many are we selling in this scenario? We're selling 250 pairs of shoes.
250.
Right. So we're going to sell these. That's 100. Then we're going to sell these. That's 150. And so we now have our 250 pairs of shoes sold. And so what's the total cost? Total cost is what, 5,750?
Yeah, that will be 5,750.
And what do we have left? All of these are gone.
That will be 100. You still have 100 shoes left.
3,000.
Yeah, you had $3,000 worth of shoes.
Okay.
Professor.
Yes.
So they just sent an email right now. They told us to leave class for the trial of Derek Chauvin.
Why?
I don't know. That's what TSU just sent us.
For safety purposes.
For safety
Yeah, for
purposes.
safety purposes. Like, yes, like the trial is going exactly right now.
Okay, so they're saying
Getting to the ending verdict.
All right. So we'll pick up on this tomorrow. So we will
Actually,
pick.
can we finish this? Please.
let's just remember in terms of the verdict that there, close to 300 million people in the United States doing what they need to do. And so when we have one policeman who acts up, it's blown up, but that's no reason for the whole country to go wild. Yeah, what he did was wrong, and we don't agree with that. But that does not warrant violence one way or the other in terms of a verdict. These are two individuals, and it's definitely the policeman was a bad policeman, but that's one individual. So we just can't base our existence on the press and sensationalize it when so many people are doing what they need to do. So this is an issue, and it's a problem, and it's going to work out. But it does not warrant going out in the streets and demonstrating one way or the other. It does not warrant that. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so everybody be safe. I think remember what I'm saying. Remember we have a virus and stuff out there. Pray for both for the deceased. Pray for the person who committed the act, and let's try to have more love in the country rather than hate. We'll see you all on Thursday. We will finish this problem on Thursday. How are people coming with the problem?
Better now.
Better now? Are we gonna
Yes.
be ready
Yeah, better.
Thursday?
Yes.
What about
Definitely.
Jones? What about Horton? Whitehurst? Are we gonna be ready for a quiz, Harrison?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll work on that and everything, and and the way this works is, okay, you mess up. Will there be a quiz on Monday covering FIFO and LIFO? You get FIFO right that day. If you still mess up, that's Tuesday, I guess. If you mess up after that, then you still got Thursday. If you want to see in the course, you just have to learn how to do FIFO. Now, B students got to be able to do FIFO and LIFO. A students got to be able to do FIFO, LIFO, and weighted average. But if you're in that C category, you study FIFO and you learn, there are three methods. They're all sort of moving the same way. You just have to get FIFO, and you got about 3 times to get FIFO correct. Okay? So the third time should be a charm. Everybody can be like Ebony. Gonna knock it all out. Right, Kelly?
I guess that's right.
Okay. All right, you all be safe. We'll see you all on Thursday.
Thanks for recording, and
Bye,
hopefully you post it.
I will be
Right.
posting on this. All right.
Okay.
You have a good day, Professor.
Bye.
Thank you. Be safe, Professor.
All right,
Thank
I
you,
will.
Professor. Have a good day.
Good
All right.
day.
Okay.
Professor Boyd.
Yes.
Okay. So Thursday, I know you said we have an exam, but I'm gonna be out of town on Thursday. I'm actually leaving on Thursday, and so I don't even know if I'll be able to attend class. So I don't know what would be the next best thing for me to do.
Did you not hear me say that we'll be tested on again the following Tuesday?
Yes, but yeah, but I don't want to miss like the grade for Thursday, right?
If you don't get it on Thursday, then you got a chance to redo it on Tuesday.
On Tuesday. Okay. I thought you were saying okay, cool, I got you.
Right. So everybody has 3 times to get FIFO right, and you just got to get it right one of those times.
Okay, yes, sir, got you.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome.